There's a strange hum, isn't there? That quiet thrum from the television set. It sits there, a black mirror, waiting. A window to laughter, to dreams, to the bright lights of fame. We invite it right into our homes. We trust the faces on the screen. We let them entertain us. We assume they're just part of the show. But sometimes, friend, what's on the screen is far more real, far more chilling. Something truly, deeply wrong. It's about the monsters who didn't hide under the bed. They auditioned. They smiled. They went on television. First, consider the case of Rodney Alcala, a name that now whispers cold dread into the ears. In 1978, he appeared on The Dating Game, a show where a hidden person picked a date. He was bachelor number one, charming, witty. He said he was a photographer, capturing beautiful moments, and he even won. The Bachelorette chose him for the prize date, but thankfully she felt a chill. A weird feeling, she called it, an instinct that screamed of danger. She turned him down, and survived, because Alcala's true moments captured were horrific. His victims, young women, vanished, their earrings kept as trophies. A wolf in a well-tailored suit, on national television. And no one knew, not yet, but Alcala wasn't alone. Years later, on the very same Dating Game stage, another bachelor, Donald Miller, appeared, not once, but 4 times. A local celebrity, you might say. He seemed like the perfect catch. But behind the glitz, a deeper darkness resided. Miller had a history of violent assaults, a chilling secret pattern of hunting and harming. Miller Wolf had slipped through the net, playing a game far more dangerous than any show could devise. Now, the truly infamous, name synonymous with chilling terror, Ted Bundy. Before his full horrors were known, Bundy appeared on a radio talk show, live on the air. He discussed the unsolved murders plaguing the Pacific Northwest, the very crimes he had committed. The unsuspecting audience listened to the architect of the terror he so eloquently analyzed. He was a master of performance, a chameleon of cruelty, hiding in plain sight on the airwaves. Next, Robert John Bardo, a different kind of monster fueled by twisted obsession. He appeared on local news, a fleeting, almost insignificant face in a crowd, protesting something. Just another oddball, easily dismissed. But beneath that glance, a terrible storm was brewing, a toxic cocktail of delusion and fixation. He was already a ticking bomb of violence. And there he was, on screen, sharing his distorted reality, even as the fuse burned closer. Then the utterly chilling normalcy of Robert Lee Yates Jr., a family man, an Air Force veteran, husband, father of 5. When a young woman vanished, a news crew interviewed him. He spoke calmly, empathetically, just another neighbor offering condolences, seeming innocent. But his hands, that shook the reporters, were already stained. His eyes had witnessed unimaginable cruelty. He was the predator they sought, a quiet, unassuming man, camouflaged by domesticity. These screens have captured others, too. Herbert Mullen, a serial killer. He was interviewed on news shortly after one of his victims. His answers were chillingly bizarre. And Anna Marie Hahn, the poisoner, a grandmotherly figure. She appeared on Queen for a day, charming everyone, even as death followed in her wake. What does this tell us about the screens we stare at, the trust we implicitly give? It tells us that evil doesn't always wear a hooded cloak or hide in crumbling mansions. Sometimes it wears a wide smile, a confident demeanor, the worried brow of a citizen. Sometimes it buys a ticket, joins the queue, and waits for its moment in the spotlight. These aren't just sensational headlines. These are chilling whispers from the glowing box. Reminders that the most terrifying villains aren't found in fiction. They are found in the everyday, on the evening news, on your favorite game show, just a face in the crowd, smiling, waiting, and watching you back. Always watching. Think about that next time you turn it on. Just think about it. That smile, that easy laugh. It lingers, doesn't it? Long after the show is over. The static holds secrets, whispers from the airwaves, a truth the broadcasting didn't capture. And you sit there, in your own living room, with just that screen, and the silence. The world believes what it sees, what it's told, what it's presented by the glowing box. But some truths are too ugly for prime time, too monstrous for the polite applause. They hide behind the laughter, behind the applause, behind the unassuming faces. Imagine it. The smiles you watched, the voices you trusted. What horrors did they conceal? A darkness that walks in daylight, that sits across from you, that even seeks your approval. Rodney Alcala, Ted Bundy, Robert Yates. Just a few names. But there were others: Donald Miller, Herbert Mullin, Anna Marie Hahn, Robert John Bardo. More everyday faces. They sought the spotlight. Not for fame, but for opportunity. For a final act of cruelty. The stage was set. The audience was ready. Unknowing participants in a terrifying game. The hum of the television, the comforting glow. All just a veil. A thin curtain, behind which something truly unspeakable waited. To be revealed, or to continue its hunt. What kind of mind does that? What darkness allows such deceit is the kind of void that makes you question everything. Every smile, every handshake. Because the greatest trick of evil is convincing the world it's ordinary. It's just like you. Living next door. Working in the same office. Sitting at the table across from you. The banality of evil. It wears a uniform, a friendly grin, a polite demeanor. And sometimes it picks up the phone. Or it sends a letter. Or it wins a popularity contest, like Bundy, calmly discussing his own dark handiwork. A chilling prophetic performance. Or Alcala, the photographer, capturing something far more sinister than beautiful moments. Or Yates, the concerned citizen, speaking to a camera that never knew his true nature. The questions linger. What else have we missed? What other wolves have been introduced? The stage was set, the lights were on, the audience was ready, all unknowingly, because some monsters don't need a disguise. They just need a platform, and a public willing to watch, willing to believe the comforting lies of the screen. These are the echoes, the chilling whispers from the very airwaves we consume, making you wonder, truly wonder, about the smiles that shine, the laughter that rings true. Because sometimes, friend, behind the bright lights and the easy charm, there's something else, something deep down, something rotten, a darkness that speaks volumes without uttering a sound, a quiet obsession, building to a crescendo of unspeakable acts, the ultimate betrayal, the wolf in sheep's clothing welcomed into your home. These fleeting glimpses, these moments caught on tape, they were warnings, whispers from the abyss trying to break through the cheerful static, a scratch on the surface of normalcy, a sign of what lay beneath, the tangled web of deceit, woven into the very fabric of our public gaze, a shadow cast by the very light that illuminated their false faces, and the hum persists, the low, endless thrum of the television, always there, connected to everything, drawing power from the unsuspecting, feeding on our trust, the applause, the laughter, the cheers. They become part of the dark symphony, watching, always watching, from inside that glowing box, the moment the show ends, the moment the screen goes dark. Does it truly stop? Or does it just wait for the next broadcast, for the next unsuspecting gaze? Alcala, Miller, Bundy, Bardo, Yates, Mullin, Hahn, all of them, all just a breath away. You flip through the channels, searching for comfort, for escape. But what finds you? The labyrinth of the unseen, the unacknowledged evil, broadcasting right into your home. A chilling truth, that the monsters are not just in the stories, they are in the headlines. And sometimes they are the very people you watch. Alone, in the quiet of the night. The power is in your hand. But what if the choice is already made? What if they've already chosen you? The line between the performer and the monster is thinner than you think. A crack in the veneer, a tear in the fabric of what seems real. That laugh you heard, was it from the show or from behind the screen? The heart of darkness, beating, right there in your living room. No more shows, no more laughter, only the raw, unfiltered truth. The silhouette of evil, the monster that could be anyone. Watching, a glance from the screen, a gaze that lingers, long after you've looked away. 1,000 tiny pieces of dread, reflecting back from your own television. You are watching. But what, precisely, is watching you? The shadows reach from within the light, from within the very screen. And then, silence. The show is over, or is it? The camera may be off, but some eyes are never closed. Some games never end. It's in the everyday. It's in the ordinary. The true terror, that it doesn't need to be a monster from a movie. It just needs a face and a place, a stage, to perform its ultimate horrifying role. Before the blood, before the terror, before the world knew their name, they auditioned for fame, but they were always destined for infamy, for dread. And now, you know, the secrets of the screen, the shadows it hides, a history lesson, a cautionary tale, a whisper in the dark, and it came from the very box you trusted, the one you invited in. Just a face, in the crowd, or on your screen, watching. The show is over, the curtain is down, the The silence descends,